You can now get a 30-day trial to experience The Athletic for free. Visit the link in the description below to try it now. In this series, we analyse teams, identify problem areas, and suggest solutions in the form of incoming players. We won't follow gossip, rumours or conjecture, and we're concerned only with the player's on-field performance and their suitability for the role in question. Today's team is nobody. Welcome to a very different sort of sensible transfers. Now, everyone knows that Kylian Mbappe and Paul Pogba are out of contract this summer, but who else is available? Well, we've picked a Tifo 11 of free transfers and assembled them into a team that could hopefully play together. Some players are proven, others are not, and we've tried to find the balance. So in goal, Tottenham's Hugo Lloris. Lloris has certainly rediscovered his form over the past few years. And while perhaps not quite the shot stopper he once was, his post-shot XG minus goals allowed rating is at plus 0.06, only good enough for the 76th percentile. Now he counterbalances that with a quiet captaincy style that will bind our team together. It's not often that you get to sign a World Cup winning goalkeeper, and we're taking that chance. In front of him, we're playing a 3-4-3, and at centre-half, we'll pick Marc-Oliver Kempf, Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger, and Borussia Dortmund's Matthias Ginter. Despite Stuttgart struggling this season, Kempf has been an expressive presence at the back. He's excellent in the air, a menace at attacking set pieces, and also one of the best progressive passing centre-backs in the Bundesliga. He's also left-footed, which will give our backline an even greater range of exits. Gladbach's Ginter is in much the same mould. His progressive passing and carrying statistics are similar to Kempf's, and his right foot would make him a nice option on the outside of our back three. Then, between the two, Rudiger anchors our backline. His abilities are well established. A modern, complete centre-half who adds value in every phase and is a dressing room leader. All sorts of clubs are understandably squabbling over his signature. Now we need wing-backs. Ajax's Nusa Mazraoui is perfect on the right side. His ability to play and receive progressive passes makes him an ideal attacking weapon. But he's also a balanced player and a good defender. His tackling ability will be useful outside Ginter, whose defending is probably the weakest part of his game. Now on the left-hand side, we want a more conservative option. Lille's Reinildo is a 27-year-old Mozambique international, and he's a good enough passer and skillful enough to fit in with our group of aesthetics. But we're picking him for his defensive abilities. He would lock down that channel outside Kempf, and that's very important given the wandering nature of our centre-halves. So our midfield. Franck Kessie is out of contract at AC Milan, and Corentin Tolisso, who's had a miserable time at Bayern Munich, is also available on a free. Now Kessie would be our deeper option. It might be a touch awkward for him because his creative and technical abilities are more pronounced than his defensive ones, but he's an excellent receiver and distributor who we could use as a deep-lying playmaker. He's also an outstanding one-on-one tackler, so wouldn't be compromised too much in the way of his security. Because of his virtual hiatus at Bayern, the world seems to have forgotten just how good Corentin Tolisso can be. He's the kind of precision progressive passer who can reliably equip attacking players with possession, and that makes him a good partner for Kessie. And now ahead of them. We've banned ourselves from picking Mbappe, and while Juventus's Paulo Dybala and Ousmane Dembele are nearing the end of their contracts too, they're also a bit too obvious. Everybody knows exactly how good those players are and most likely where they're going. Instead, we've chosen an unorthodox fluid front three with lots of positional interchange rather than any set roles. And first, we're snapping up Randal Kolo Muani straight away. The 23-year-old Nantes forward is a teasing dribbler who seems comfortable receiving the ball on the front foot or the counter, and who has the skill and speed to go past people. He's electric, a good finisher too, and in the right side, under the right style and surrounded by a better calibre of teammates, he could well become a star of the game. Sardar Azmoon probably isn't going to be an outright star, but the Iranian is now 27, entering his prime, and has put together a succession of prolific seasons for Zenit St. Petersburg. 56 league goals in 2.5 years attests to the quality of his penalty box movement and finishing. And even if his relative lack of assists characterises him less as a complete forward, his 1 or 2 touch play around the box is still of a good standard. He'll score goals, and this team can depend on him while Randall Kolo Muani grows into his talent. And with our last pick, we need a little more guile. We want someone who can play a variety of forward roles, possibly supporting striker included, and so we're offering Isco the chance to resurrect his career. He's 29 now, and a succession of head coaches at the Bernabeu have only been willing to give him peripheral roles for the last few years. Well, more fool them. Isco remains a very gifted carrier, who's also very good at identifying space in the final third and receiving passes into it. Add that to his capacity to create shooting opportunities for his teammates, and we might have the perfect foil for our other 2 forwards. And here's some other players who will be becoming free agents in the summer. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do enjoy Tifo, then you'll probably also like The Athletic. If you watch our tactics videos, you should go and read Michael Cox. If you're into data, read Mark Carey. And if you're into transfers, it's David Ornstein. Plus, if you're a fan of any Premier League team, then there's a journalist dedicated to you, and you can try it for free for 30 days now by clicking the link in the description.